You have spent your entire life feeling like something is fundamentally wrong with you. You watch others navigate social situations with an ease that feels almost alien. They laugh at the right moments. They know what to say. They seem to genuinely enjoy conversations about weather, sports scores, and weekend plans. And you stand there, performing, calculating, exhausted. But here is what no one has ever told you. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not defective. You are not even particularly strange. You are simply playing an entirely different game. And once you understand what that game actually is, everything about your life will finally make sense. Stay with me, because what I am about to explain goes far deeper than personality types or introversion. This is about the fundamental architecture of your psyche and why it was never designed to fit into the world as it currently exists. Before we can understand your game, we need to understand theirs. Most people are playing a game Jung understood deeply, the game of the persona, the mask, the compromise between who you are and what society demands you appear to be. It is what we can call the collective adaptation game. Everyone has a persona. You have one too. The difference is where psychic energy flows. For most people, the persona is not a mask they wear. It is who they experience themselves to be. Their energy flows outward toward adaptation, toward fitting the mask ever more seamlessly to the world's demands. This is not an insult. This is not a criticism. This is simply how most human beings are psychologically configured to survive. The persona game has very specific rules. First, fit in. Second, accumulate status. Third, maintain your position. Fourth, avoid disruption at all costs. This game is ancient. It is wired into the human nervous system for good reason. For most of human history, exile from the group meant death. Your ancestors who mastered this game survived. Those who did not play it well often did not live long enough to have children. So when you watch someone effortlessly navigate a dinner party, understand what you are actually witnessing. You are watching someone whose psychic energy is fully invested in the persona, someone whose nervous system is perfectly calibrated to detect and respond to social hierarchies, group dynamics, and subtle status signals. They are not shallow, they are not less intelligent. They are simply running a different operating system, one optimized for a different set of evolutionary pressures. Now here is where it gets interesting. Most people playing this game do not know they are playing it. They experience their social behaviors as natural, automatic, authentic. When they ask about your weekend, they are not being fake. They genuinely find this information useful for maintaining social bonds. When they follow fashion trends, they are not being mindless. Their psyche is wired to signal group membership through appearance. When they avoid controversial topics, they are not being cowardly. Their nervous system correctly identifies these topics as potential threats to social standing. The persona game works. It creates stable communities. It maintains social order. It allows millions of people to cooperate effectively. But it is not the only game available to the human psyche. And if you are watching this video, you have probably always sensed that another game exists. Jung identified what he called the introverted intuitive type, those whose psychic energy flows primarily toward inner patterns and meaning rather than outward adaptation. In modern typology, this maps most directly onto INFJ and INTJ. But there are also two types that share something essential with them, not the same dominant function, but the same fundamental orientation away from the persona game and toward depth. These are INFP and INTP. We can call all four types deep intuitives. The technical differences matter less than the shared pattern, a psyche that is pulled toward meaning rather than adaptation. Your psyche is oriented towards something entirely different than collective adaptation. Your game, whether you chose it or not, is the game of meaning. Let me be precise about what this means. While others unconsciously track social position, your mind unconsciously tracks patterns, symbolic relationships, hidden connections, the underlying structure beneath surface reality. This is not something you do. This is something that happens to you. Just as others automatically register social dynamics, you automatically register meaning dynamics. When you enter a room, others might unconsciously assess who holds status. You unconsciously assess what is really going on beneath the performance. When you encounter new information, others might evaluate how it affects their position. You evaluate how it connects to everything else you know. This is why small talk feels so exhausting. You are not designed for information exchange about surface content. Your psyche is designed for depth exploration. They track status. You track meaning. And this brings us to the core problem. If this is resonating with you, drop a comment below. Tell me when you first realized you were playing a different game. I read every comment on this channel. Now let me explain why this different game creates so much suffering. Here is what happens when someone playing the meaning game is forced to exist in a world dominated by the collective adaptation game. First, chronic exhaustion. You are constantly translating. Every social interaction requires you to simulate their game while suppressing yours. This is not just uncomfortable, it is energetically depleting in a way that most people cannot understand. Imagine being forced to write with your non-dominant hand all day, every day, for your entire life. That is what social existence feels like for you. Second, chronic alienation. You see things others do not see. You care about things others do not care about. And when you try to share what you perceive, you are often met with blank stares or polite dismissal. Over time, this creates a specific form of loneliness. Not the loneliness of isolation, but the loneliness of being surrounded by people who cannot perceive what feels obvious to you. Third, chronic self-doubt. Because you are surrounded by people playing the collective adaptation game successfully, you naturally conclude that you are the problem. Their game appears to be reality itself. Your game appears to be a defect, a weakness, a failure to mature properly. This is the deepest wound, not the exhaustion, not the alienation. The internalized belief that your fundamental orientation to existence is wrong. The most painful part is not that others do not understand you. It is that you start doubting your own perception of reality. But here is what Jung understood that changes everything. If you are finding this valuable, hit the like button. It genuinely helps other deep intuitives find this content instead of the shallow personality quizzes that dominate the algorithm. Now let me show you why your game is not only valid, but essential. Jung argued that psychological types exist for a reason. The human species needs different kinds of consciousness to survive and evolve. The collective adaptation game maintains social stability. Without it, human communities would fragment into chaos. But the meaning game serves a different function. It is the source of cultural innovation, paradigm shifts, and evolutionary leaps in consciousness. Every major advancement in human understanding came from someone who stepped outside the consensus reality and perceived something others could not see. The scientists who overturned established paradigms. The artists who revealed new ways of experiencing existence. The philosophers who questioned assumptions everyone else treated as obvious. These were not people who played the collective adaptation game well. They were people who could not stop playing the meaning game, even when it cost them everything. Now, I'm not saying you are destined to change the world. That would be falling into another trap, one we will discuss in a moment. What I am saying is that your psychological orientation has a function. Your mind was designed to detect patterns and connections that others miss. Your alienation from consensus reality is not a bug. It is a feature. Seeing deeper does not make life easier. It often makes it more complex. But this creates a new problem. What do you do with this orientation when you still have to live in the world? When you still need relationships, employment, basic human connection? This is where most content about deep intuitives fails you completely. Here is where I need to challenge you directly. When you first discover that you are psychologically different, there is an almost irresistible temptation. the temptation to turn your differentness into an identity, to use your outsider status as a new form of superiority. I'm not like them, I see deeper, I understand more, they are asleep and I'm awake. This is a trap. And it is a trap that keeps you stuck in exactly the same place. Jung called this inflation. When the ego identifies with contents of the unconscious that feel larger than ordinary life, it becomes inflated, grandiose, defensive. The inflated deep intuitive does not actually develop. They simply use their differentness as a shield against genuine growth. If you are new here, consider subscribing. This channel is specifically for deep intuitives who want genuine transformation, not just validation of how special they are. I post new content weekly, and each video builds on the ones before. Now let me show you the actual path forward, because understanding you are playing a different game is only the first step. What matters is how you play it consciously. Jung did not just describe psychological types, he described a process called individuation. This is the process by which you become who you actually are, not who you were conditioned to be, and not a reaction against that conditioning. For the deep intuitive, individuation requires a specific and difficult task. You must learn to honor your game without using it to escape the challenges of being human. This means developing enough capacity for collective adaptation that you can function in the world without abandoning your fundamental orientation toward meaning. It means learning to translate your perceptions into language others can understand without betraying the depth of what you see. It means accepting that you will always be somewhat alien in ordinary social situations while refusing to let that alienation curdle into contempt or isolation. And most importantly, it means finding or creating the contexts where your game is not just tolerated, but needed. Because here is what I have discovered. The deep intuitive who learns to play their game consciously becomes invaluable in specific contexts. They become the person who can see what is actually happening when everyone else is lost in surface noise. The person who can hold complexity when others need simple answers. The person who can sit with someone in their darkness without flinching because they have mapped that territory in themselves. This might mean speaking in meetings without feeling fake, choosing relationships where depth is possible rather than guaranteed, or creating work that reflects your inner logic instead of social expectations. Your game has always had a purpose. You simply needed to stop apologizing for it and start playing it deliberately. You do not fit in because you were never supposed to fit in, not in the way that phrase is usually meant. You are not playing the same game, and that is not a problem to be fixed. It is a reality to be understood and eventually embraced. The loneliness you have felt your entire life is not evidence of your failure. It is evidence of your orientation towards something most people never have to confront directly. The meaning game is harder, it is lonelier, and it is necessary. If you want to support this work, consider joining the channel membership. Members get early access to new content. You can find the join button under this video. And if you want to go deeper than what a video can hold, I explore these ideas in depth in the essays I publish weekly on my Substack, The Hidden Chamber. You can find the link in the description. You have been playing this game your entire life. Now, it is time to play it consciously.